There is a query from one Mr. Nitya Kumar. He asks, how can we protect a trademark registered in India internationally?
Yes. Now there is no system like universal protection of the intellectual property rights, especially with regard to the trademark. But you have got a mechanism of filing of an international application through Madrid Protocol. But there is no law to say that universally you can file a single application, you will be protected, because every trademark law of every country is governed by their own laws under the falling within the purview of the convention being signed by the respective countries. But there is also a discussion on the point of Madrid Protocol application filing through the WIPO. If your application is held up in a particular country, then your whole application for other countries also, there is some sort of restriction, and the speedy registration process is being stopped. So normally the advisable is that you have to file an application independently in every country with the user you are claiming in that particular country, because user status is very important. Especially when you come to the US part of filing of an application, there you can file an application with the concept of proposed to be used, but within 1 year, if you don't produce the user status, then that mark will not be given for the registration. Unlike in India, this is one of the big lacuna in the Indian laws, is that there are the several trademarks which are registered with the concept of the proposed to be used, and many people registered but not using, that is leading to another kind of litigation of filing of a rectification application.
The next question also from Mr. Nitya Kumar. If there is infringement in case of a domain name, for example, www.sony.com, owner is in India. If the infringer is in USA, whom should we approach for remedy?
Yes, now there is a kind of law is in this, because the once domain name is universally available anywhere, you can create a cause of action. But if it is your domain name is registered, of course, domain name and vis-a-vis trademarks are quietly go simultaneously together with that. But in this particular case of the domain names, because it is advisable to file a case at the where the person who is violating your rights, preferably in the US. But there are judgment which says that, because especially not with regard to domain name, but if the products are sold in online, you can create a cause of action wherever you are purchasing the product. And there are quite contrary judgments to that, but it is open for the one of the defense becomes for a defendant, because online purchase cannot be considered as a cause of action, and also judgments quite vice versa for that.
Next question from one Mr. Ritwik. In some cases, Chinese originated companies copy the goods of foreign companies. Where does the foreign company, that is an MNC, have to file a lawsuit in that case?
See, user status becomes more important, sir. That's when the matter comes to the in Indian domain. You might have registered the trademark, but if you don't have user, but still on the strength of the registrability of the particular trademark, you can file the case in India. But later on, when somebody files a case for, because there is a section 124 of the Trademark Act 1999, which comes as, if you are not using, but you are a registered owner, if you file a case, if the defendant has got a remedy under 124 of the Trademark Act to seek the liberty of the court to file a rectification application, once the rectification application is allowed by the court, then whole proceedings to be stayed till the rectification is to be decided. So under those concepts, the user of the trademark is more powerful than the registered owner, where you can file a case in terms of passing off.
Now, in this question, sir, now the MNC has registered, the Chinese company is copying the product of an MNC, and the product may be sold and it may be traded in those countries where the trademark is not registered. So in such countries, an action for passing off will only lie, sir, not an action for infringement.
No, if our mark is registered, section 134, 135 comes into the picture. But that is a very interesting question, because vis-a-vis there is section 28 which creates the bar whether you can file a case of infringement against another registered owner. Of course, this is not the particular question in this domain, but the issue is that if somebody is violating your rights in the other country, then remedy available. If you got the registration in that particular country, you can file the case. But you can't file because just you got the registration in India, you can initiate a suit in other country.
Sir, another question from one Mr. Rajaswamy Aldandi. Sir, some forest group people make handicrafts, but without trademark, they are selling the products in urban areas. They are illiterate and they do not know. So, how to register, like whether trademark is available for those products?
And now I think something is closely related to traditional knowledge as well as the geographical indication. Now, geographical indication is one of the trademark, but the problem is that geographical indication, like in Telangana, what is that? Toys, Kondapalli toys. Unless you name the product's name, you can't go for the registration of those as a trademarks. But if the products are sold as an handicrafts without any name, you got no remedy under the Trademarks Act. But if you are selling under the particular brand name, it is advisable to go for the registration of that brand name. And if it is the association of the people are selling the products under the local name, and it is quite advisable to go for the registration of the geographical indication, GI registration, that what we call it as. And literacy and illiteracy, sir, that is the one issue, because as long as they're not selling under any brand name, I don't think anybody will be suing them. But the question is that the people who may purchase those products at the cheaper rates, they put their brand name and sell on the higher rates, and then that is another civil remedy where the people can ask from the courts for this kind of imitation of the products or exploitation by adopting those products, taking at the cheaper rates and putting the brand name and selling that. Unless it is covered by any of the agreements, they got the remedy in the civil court only. Now, as asked about how to register, sir, you have to put a name to that particular product. Then you have to go according to the Trademark Registration, Trademarks Act 1999 for the registration of that product.
Sir, so even the handicrafts can be protected under trademark, sir?
No, but the name, what name you give it to that product? Handicraft is the kind of product which people may, create or manufacture, but you would be selling on the particular name. That
Okay,
name
sir.
to be registered.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir,
Even if it is not registered, you can file passing off.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, next question again from Mr. P. Nithya Kumar. Sir, if there is a delay in taking action against trademark infringement, will it amount to acquiescence?
Yes, very interesting question. Unfortunately, there are the judgments which also say that delay would not come in the filing a suit for infringement, but the bona fide action of the plaintiff is always looked into whether the plaintiff is really bona fide in initiating the action against the defendant for the infringement and passing of action. But normally it is stated that if your brand is so powerful, even if the delay would not come in protection of your rights under the infringement action, if not for passing off. The court held that delay is not fatal.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, next question from one Mupur Prasad. He first of all thanks you, sir, for full picture on passing off and infringement. The question is, there are two different entities passing off of a trademark which is identical or deceptively similar. Assuming plaintiff initiated against one only and got remedy for that, after 1 or 2 years, can he initiate similar case against the second one?
Definitely, as long as the cause of
the
action.
question, sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, he says that there is a registered trademark and there are two marks which are deceptively similar to it. The trademark holder has initiated action against only one of such deceptively similar trademarks and got a favorable remedy. And later, after 1 or 2 years, whether he can initiate similar case against the second trademark, which is deceptively similar.
Is it the same defendant?
No, sir. He says that there are two different defendants, but he has initiated against only one first, and second one, can he initiate later?
It is a prerogative of the plaintiff. He can initiate the cases against any person he wants it. And definitely, if the first case he got the court order in his favor, that becomes a precedent for him to get the immediate order against the another defendant. But he can very well initiate the such suit as long as the cause of action is arisen. So there is no bar in filing the suits against the defendants who are violating the rights. And in fact, his case would be more stronger because he already got the order from in the first case against one of the defendant.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, last question, sir. Sir, is the abolition of IPAB, Intellectual Property Appellate Board, temporary? Can we expect a new board with modified powers?
Probably Dr. J.B. Reddy sir could answer this question because the people who are in the highest pedestal in the decision-making process of the government. And as a council, I got my personal views because IPAB should be again restored because it's a kind of specialization. Because as a council, I'm not with great respect to the judiciary is overburdened with many of the works and getting the specialization in these kind of subjects, especially patents and all, it is very difficult for the judiciary to, kind of pressure they can face it. And IPAB is the right forum to adjudicate this matter because that is also head by the retired High Court judge and the experts in the different fields assisting the court in the patents, trademarks, and geographical indications. And I am also, as a question whoever is asked, I am also hoping that in the due course, in the short time, the IPAB to be restored.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I request IPR Chair Professor J.V. Reddy Garu, to please share his views and any comments, any additions, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Irfan, and I thank Dr. Venkat Reddy for an excellent presentation on key aspects relating to the protection of the rights of trademark holders. I wish that IPAB is revived because I'm one of the persons, in fact, who have been supporting the continuation of a special body to deal with intellectual property rights, like special courts in certain countries exist today. Only Delhi High Court has made certain changes, Dr. Venkat Reddy knows, in the nomenclature of the writ petitions and others. But the other high courts now, they are mixing up all kinds of litigation, and we badly need a body which is equipped technically and otherwise also to deal with IP disputes, more particularly trademarks, patents, and others. I wanted to remind Dr. Reddy that he is also one of the impaneled arbitrators, trademark arbitrators, as far as this UDRP is concerned. Whenever there is WIPO Arbitration and Mediation Center, which is approached by somebody who registers a domain name and which is infringed by someone else, if both of them submit to the jurisdiction of this WIPO Arbitration and Mediation Center, certainly, arbitration can take place. Domain dispute resolution, that is one of the aspects. So maybe Sir was concentrating more rightly and mostly on the litigation issues, but arbitration also is one of the remedies, especially with regard to the domain name disputes. ICANN and others. I know in Hyderabad, he has a good company of arbitrators, including himself. So this is the only thing which I wanted to remind him, nothing else. And
thank you for correcting me, sir. I agree with you.
That's only with regard to domain name, sir. But I really thank you for, in fact, clarifying the distinction between passing off and infringement. And I thank all my team members once again before they propose formal vote of thanks. Dr. Irfan Abbas, Mr. Srinivas Rao, Mr. Nagaraj, Ms. Vaishnavi, and others.
Thank you so much, sir.